Morning everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Jan Kjellstrand. I'm a dairy farmer from Saskatchewan, Canada. Today we're going to be feeding cows. It's my weekend to feed and we're feeding with a 1200T for a couple loads. I already did one load for the milk cows, so that's one of three. We're going to try fitting the other two loads that our 900T would usually be doing in a 1200T. So to give you an idea what those load sizes roughly are, it's 700 kgs is the one I just made in here, and I'd say it's about 2/3 full. That's why I think if we double that up and put it in the 1200T, should be able to handle it. It's definitely a bigger wagon. Let's go see how it goes. The 1200T to the left there is a used unit. The dealer just brought it here. I guess he took it on trade from another farmer, and just wanted to see how big and how it worked out for us size wise. Well, we got all the silage in there, and that is silage for two of the loads we feed right now, and it's not even pooling over the top. So it's got 10,300 kgs in there right now, and the finished load calls for 17,180 kilograms. So that's how much grain and whey and water go in yet, but that stuff doesn't take up near as much volume as the silage. Yeah, so that really comfortably fits that much silage. There's no doubt about it. That's a lot of feed in a wagon right there. So that is a load of feed that has 17,200 kilograms of feed in it. It's two of the loads we'd feed with the 900T. 900T wasn't right full though. Let's go see what it looks like in the wagon. So it's probably around max now, but it's handling it. That was the first load with the 1200T. I like it a lot. It definitely looks like it's the capacity we're looking for, and just operating it in general went super good there. Makes sense. It's got an advantage over that Trio Elite that we demoed this year, and that is that we've been feeding with a Supreme mixer wagon the whole time. Yes, it's a way bigger wagon than our 900T, but there are some similarities that makes a guy just a little bit more comfortable operating it. So keeping that in mind, between the two wagons, I was definitely more comfortable feeding this with this wagon this morning than the first couple times with that Trio Elite. So anyway, you get used to everything. I buggered up the unload. I was just focusing on too many other things. Believe it or not, duals, you don't actually need the duals to feed cows. It probably is easier, probably without the duals. So should have taken those off, but I put 900 kilograms too much on the west side of the barn versus the east side, so I'm just gonna grab the Bobcat and correct that right away. The milk cows are fed now. I have not started feeding the corrals yet, and that is because we are gonna do a lot of shuffling around. Our two new corrals are done and ready for cows. So we're gonna do that this morning. get them all moved over, shelved over, and then I'll feed the corrals after. That'll just make sure that everyone gets the feed they're supposed to and a good amount. So Miriam and Chris are out here. They're trying to get ready the gates and everything, and I'm going to put some bales around. We got 2 windbreaks. We're going to start feeding the corrals now. I just mixed the full dry cow and bred heifer load with that 1200T, and it fit the whole load. Definitely didn't have too much more room in there, maybe another 500 kgs, but that's what it looks like in the silage pile here. If you're curious what that actually looks like, a full feed wagon. That's the amount of feed it holds. That's about 10 tons of feed, so that's a drier ration. The milk cow ration this morning, same kind of volume, weighed 17 tons. So that's just because it has a lot more grain and a lot more whey and water in it. So anyway, that's good. The reason why I spun it out here in the silage pits is because we don't have a dog leg on that 1200T. So we have to just scoop it back into the 900 here and then go bring it to those corrals like that. But that's okay. I believe Miriam and Chris already moved over the corrals all now. So we'll be feeding those new corrals for the first time this morning. That's kind of cool. So the steers have been moved over into the new pens. So this was previously the group from corral 5, and then the next one is the group from corral 4. This pen is very sparsely populated now. There's not a lot of animals in there, which is good. Back here in the existing corrals, this was corral 4, so that group went over there. We took half of the animals from corral 3 and put them in here. And then this was corral 5. The steers went over there. So we took half of 6 and 7, put them in this corral here. And then we moved some dry cows into corral 7. So it just eased up all the pressure that was on the corrals over here. You can hear they're quite vocal right now. They want food. And that's what we're gonna give them. Well, that went super good. That's the first load of feed in the new corrals. This corral is already full. Bunk's pretty full too. Finally done feeding. Went pretty good. Definitely nice feeding in those corrals now, putting a lot less feed in the bunks. Some of them though are still pretty full. I kind of wonder how we got away with that for so long, but we did, and it's good now. So about the 1200T, this conveyor that unloads is a lot higher up than the 900. So this one sits about there. The 900 sits here, so you need a dog leg to kind of lift it up. So we might just go for this flat one. We'll see. The issue with that is it's got to clear the walls of the feed bunks in the corrals, but I think it should be fine. And if it's not, we can always just build that up a little bit, add a couple inches of gravel in that corral feed alley, lift the entire setup up a few inches taller, and then we'll be good to go. What that's going to do for us is hopefully clear up those feeder chain issues that we always have. I've showed it quite a few times in the videos. It happens more than you guys see. It's not good. Our luck with the feed chain on the Supreme wagon. So it's kind of looking like we're going to go this way. The Trio Elite is a very nice wagon. It just, this one's quite a bit cheaper, and I feel like it fits more volume in a smaller setup, if that makes sense to you guys. The Trio Elite is very tall. It's a lot taller than this thing, I think. And this one, the walls kind of taper out. I still think the bottom's wider, and the walls tapering out really helps with the augers getting in there too, versus the Trio Elite. The walls are straight up, and then that rubber flap is bent inward, whereas on this one is straight up. So I think this one's going to suit us a little better. It is a little bit bigger volume-wise than the Trio Elite we had out here too, and they do have a size bigger that's equivalent or maybe even slightly bigger than this one, but I don't know. We'll talk about it and we'll see. It's the afternoon now. We're going to drop the 1200T off of the Versatile because we got to use that to do some noble blading. So we're just going to get that hooked back up to it. It was on there before we dropped it off for the feed wagon, so try to do that this afternoon. Got the noble blade hooked up. I don't know if I showed this spring. I did use it for a bit this spring. Basically, there's these big blades that go just below the surface of the dirt, about an inch down, and it cuts all the roots from the weeds. And the specific weed we're going after is horsetail. Does a really good job of that, and apparently does the best right before freezing. So that's what we're planning on using this for. We'll be hitting, I believe, 5 quarters of land with it. These drought years, it seems to really help that horsetail out. So it's been getting worse, although now maybe with some wetter years it'll not be as bad, but kill those weeds, get rid of them, and you should be good to go. We're grabbing bales for bedding the straw pack. I always get questions in my videos, why don't we stack bales to save room? We have probably 6 or 7 acres of land that's covered right now by round bales because we refuse to stack the bales. And this is the perfect example why. Last year I was hauling bales, stacking that 3rd row on top of that hay hiker, and now we're pulling the bales away from just a year ago. That's all rot because the bale couldn't air out the moisture that was going into the stack. This too is all rotten. And it's just, there's no airflow to dry the bale out, whereas if you take from a row that's not stacked too high, the bales are never rotten. Maybe a little bit on the bottom if it's a wet year, but for the rest it just stays good a lot longer. So yeah, that's why we don't stack bales. The two here, you can see it on even better. Like this whole area here is just rotten because it had no airflow when it rained and got wet down there. So